Alrighty, good afternoon. Welcome to TDM 386 Convention Sales and Management. My name is Marcus Jones, and I will be serving as your instructor for this course. And I look forward to the next 8 weeks with you. A quick overview of what we're going to talk about in this very brief video. I just want to give you an overview of the course, an overview of the book, and talk about a little bit about the assignments that you are going to do. So let's talk a little bit about what we're going to do. So I'll introduce myself first. So as I said, my name is Marcus Jones. I serve as the Chief of Staff to the Dean at the Watts College Public Service and Community Solutions. And in my own role, I oversee all of our Dean's Office operations as well as committee events for the college. I also serve as Director at Large for of Education for our North American Association of Commencement Officers, which is a staff organization dedicated to folks who plan graduations around North America. So if you've ever been to a graduation, it is a makeup of your folks who plan these graduations at colleges and universities. A little bit about my background. I've worked at Arizona State University for the last 14 years in a variety of roles related to project management, event management, and executive level support. I am a graduate of the Protocol School of Washington as a protocol officer. If you'd like to know more about that, please reach out and I'll be glad to tell you about that. I'm a certified special event professional, meaning that I'm knowledgeable in a little bit of all things related to events, not necessarily just your typical meetings, but also other aspects related to events such as technology, facilities, and general event management. Long time in a past life, I used to serve on the board of the Phoenix Pride for their planning their festival. So I have a little bit of festival management experience and lots of other things. I have an 11-year-old Rhodesian Ridgeback Pit Bull mix named Picasso. That is my baby. So you'll probably hear him and some of my other dogs in the background of recordings because they like to bark when I'm recording. I am a big fan of Beyonce. I may make some Beyonce references throughout this. And I love to sing karaoke. Prior to my role, I also worked on ASU's COVID-19 response team, specifically overseeing the logistics and operations of all of our state-sponsored COVID-19 testing sites, which then transitioned into our vaccination sites. So 2 very memorable photos, a van that I got to drive around the state in, on my pair of shoes that I had that all got worn down. So let's talk a little bit about class. This is a Session A course in the summer, about 7.5 to 8 weeks that you'll be engaged with us. A little bit of the content of what you're going to learn over the next few weeks is we're going to have an introduction to the meetings industry. And when you release the lecture for next week, you'll learn a little bit about what that means. There's lots of different terminology that we're going to talk about that intertwine with one another, so we'll talk about that. Hopefully you'll walk away understanding what the meeting and event and exposition industry is. We'll talk about who organizes meetings and who are the sponsors of those meetings. Another aspect of that is who are our destination marketing organizations, formerly known as convention visitor bureaus. We'll learn a little about what they do and their importance of supporting the event industry. Then we're going to move into learning about what types of facilities do we host our events at. Another aspect of events are exhibitions and trade shows. So we're going to dive a little bit into that and some other meeting aspects that take place at a meeting. Then you'll learn about some of the teams that support all of your meetings. So we're going to learn about service contractors. And then we're going to wrap it up with another support function of events and learn a bit about our destination management companies, which support in getting people to these events, especially large scale ones. So the book that we are going to use for this is The Meetings, Expositions, Events, and Conventions, An Introduction to the Industry, 5th edition. I highly recommend that you rent it as an e-text, as we only use a little bit over half the book, so I would hate for you to invest in it. So we use it as, I would recommend renting it as an e-text. I will have the first 2 chapters scanned into Canva to give you time to get it as well. I chose this book because it is cost efficient to rent. It's relevant with a lot of current examples of what's taking place in the industry currently. There's lots of accompanying materials and real-world examples that I think really encompass what we do in the event industry, and a lot of great explanation of a lot of the nuanced terminology that we use. There's also a lot of slides that are pre-made that I think are well made and align very well with the text that I will adapt and adjust with my own stories and other examples. And like I said, overall, I think it's a great relevant book. So let's talk about some of the assignments that you're going to do. First things first, I always say I'm very flexible in my assignments. If you do the work and put an effort, more likely than not, you are going to walk away from this class with an A. My grading philosophy is not to mark something as wrong or incorrect, but rather let's look at how you got to that answer and let's figure out if there's a better answer. There's not always a wrong answer. This is normally more a better answer. So if you're ever struggling, do not hesitate to reach out to me, and I'm glad to walk you through something if you're not understanding it, especially on some of these quizzes where there's terminology. I will have them to where you can retake them multiple times, but if there's something you're not understanding, especially in those free text boxes, let me know. So you're going to have 4 written application assignments that you're going to do throughout this course. And those assignments encompass everything from recommending a venue that you might do, to talking about a career that you may do, a little bit more about our destination management organizations. You'll also have discussion boards, and the purpose of those discussion boards is to answer questions related to the text, videos, or other supplemental materials that I provide. I don't believe in the answer and then write 3 responses. I think there's just value in sharing the answers of what you all are learning as we do different things, and I hope that you look at them. You're also going to have 4 quizzes that test you a little bit on the terminology to make sure that you're understanding it. As I said, my goal is not to make it right or wrong, but rather that you have an understanding of a lot of the terminology and some of the concepts that we're going to talk about over these next few weeks. So that's a little bit about the course. As we go through, each of the courses is going to have an introduction, some supplemental materials to watch. I do highly recommend that you read the book, because that's what a lot of the stuff is going to be based off of, as well as the slides. Always reach out to me if you have questions. I ask that you be flexible with me. I learned the hard way that I forgot to download a lot of my videos. And so a lot of were recordings that I had are gone. So I have to re-record them. So they will be put up. My due dates are on there, but my due dates are flexible. So if you're running into issues, just let me know, especially it's the summer. People have summer plans and whatnot, so don't hesitate to reach out to me if you need some extensions and whatnot. So with that, I'm going to stop the recording, and I'll see you in chapter 1.